In this video, I'm going to teach you the best way to memorize big, complicated lists. If you have a huge list that you need to memorize for your exam, or if you are learning a new language, or it's even if you have to learn a list of facts for your job, this is the best way that I have found when I was going through medical school. So having both ADHD and dyslexia going through college and medical school was a challenge, especially the academics. And I learned all sorts of different strategies to help with memorizing facts, memorizing all this information, especially going through medical school. I remember one of the most difficult things, especially studying for boards, is the hundreds and hundreds of different drugs that you had to memorize, as well as for me being a holistic doctor, I had to memorize all the different types of herbs, all the different types of nutrients, supplements, different types of homeopathy as well, which I hated having to doing. But on top of that, we had to memorize all of these together because we had to memorize also all the interactions that drugs and herbs and supplements can have, which is really critical for being a holistic doctor. And it made it so difficult to memorize all these things. And so I want to share with you what made all the difference for me studying hundreds and hundreds of lists, but not just memorizing just the names and groups, but also what they all entail, the mechanism, actions. You had to memorize all the different details of every single one of these. And so I want to break it down. So if you are studying, for example, for an exam coming up, or if you're trying to learn a new language, or maybe you have a job where you have to memorize all different types of different facts, or maybe possibly you have to memorize a bunch of different names, or in history, it could be applied for any of these. So let me break this down. Now, the first step before you jump off, I did use flashcards, but in a totally different way than typically people use this. And why flashcards is important? Because it really helps us use all of our senses. So using all our senses can help really solidify memorizing things, because you're physically writing, you're physically organizing them in a way, you're physically flipping them, going through. There's a whole process, and this is the best way to use it. And I haven't seen someone teach me how to do this. I kind of came up with this concept on my own, and it made all the difference passing my boards. So the first thing you're going to do is you take this list and you're going to create flashcards for every single thing on this list. So whether it's a list for learning vocabulary, a list of facts of history, also apply to science, if there's a list of things, any kind of list that you can just have to memorize for anything. Now, after you've created that list, I want you to group them. So each list can be grouped in categories, and sometimes your teacher, professor, or someone at work already gives you this kind of grouping of things that you have to. Now, if they do not, try to find ways to actually group them. This is really, really critical to group them and separate them. Now, the next step, I want you to take it even further, is within those groups, you're also going to pair them. So let me give you an example. When I'm just studying just for drugs, there's definitely, you could separate them to cardiovascular drugs, digestive drugs, mental health drugs. You could separate them in different categories like that. That's what I did. But then within those drugs, there's also similar interactions. And so what I want you to do is inside those groups is to find pairs that have similarities. So for me, it was looking at similar mechanism of actions of these particular drugs. Same with herbs, had similar properties of how it affected on the body. And then of course, sometimes I would group them based off of how they interacted with drugs. So if they all had the same type of black box kind of do not take, because if you take this drug with these types of herbs, then that's a problem. Okay, so that's what I did. So it's the same thing that you can do with, maybe if you're learning a new language, obviously you're going to group them in nouns, verbs, and so forth, but also maybe they have the same type of ending, or they have the same type of sound. These are just things that you have to also go in a deep further, because by doing this, the brain starts making connections and it really solidifies to take it a further step. And also you're more engaged when you're doing this type of activity. So therefore it is solidified in your brain versus just passively memorizing something for a day or two, spitting out on the exam, and then forgetting about it. And the fourth thing that I want you to do is color code. Color code can make a big difference. So when I talked about doing the first group, you can color code it, and then you can take it a second step of color coding the second pair, right? So when you are putting in categories, color code it, but then when you are pairing within those groups, also doing a different highlight, color coding it, whatever it might be. You could even use stickers. You could use, draw a particular character, an icon for each one of those cards, so that really just, you can visualize it. This is the whole concept of using visual learning when you are applying this. And then of course you're going to practice this, but this is just one step. You're going to be practicing with within those group categories, and then of course those paired categories. And then you're going to retest the whole group, and then you can look at all the flashcards, because then you will find, and when you see a flashcard that's paired with another card, you're going to think about that flashcard. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I remember that these are all similar and they're paired together. And then the next thing that you're going to do, the next step is, the final step is, I want you to rearrange it. So mix it all again and find another thing that are similar. So for me, the first thing was, mechanism of action, if they had similar mechanisms and actions. Then I remixed them all and said, okay, now I need to know which ones are similar that have also, contraindications as far as, different herbs and drugs, contraindications that are similar, because I knew going into the boards that they're going to ask these difficult questions. So that's the other thing that can help you kind of categorize these two. And if you don't know, ask your teacher. Ask your teacher examples of questions that they would ask on this huge list. Because if you could get some examples, then you know how to start pairing these groups together. If you know the type of questions they're going to be asking, then you should be combining them. So for example, in history, okay, the teacher might be asking, example, what happened in 1955 compared to, 1920, and you can see some similar patterns here. Maybe there's, certain things that were very common in those two different time frames, but this is just an example, is trying to combine those. But this is going to make all the difference in the world, and this is what made all the difference in the world for me to passing my boards, memorizing hundreds and hundreds of lists, but not just lists, but also the nuances and also all the different things you had to memorize for every particular type of drug, different type of herb, different type of anything, more in depth, because it'll be more solidified in your brain. But if you're looking for a better way to have a focused mind, a sharp mind, then you should watch my free training right here on the Focused Mindset Formula that helps you be able to actually have more of a focused mind. It's my proprietary process that I help my clients, my patients. So go ahead and watch this free training right here. Also, it's in the description below if you want to check it out there. Okay, see you next time.